an amazing thing that we have going on in here in this building, because when you think about it, Herbalife's now in 46 countries, and in these 46 countries, first of all, we do language translations bigger than what they do in the United Nations, and which is incredible. But you know, I don't know if you know this, but when the United Nations get together, they're not united. You understand? Because when it basically boils down to everything that's going on in the world, all the things that have happened with wars and this and that has always been over. And stick around. And if there's anything I can tell you that's the most important thing of everything that I'm going to ever tell you is stick around. Okay, stick around. Let me tell you something. When I said last night that we had 5 countries open, okay, in those first, actually 4 countries in that first 5 years, and we added in Mexico in 90, a couple of things real quick on retailing why I feel real strong about it, okay? First is, you know, because a lot of people want to recruit, and that's what they want to do, and that's all they focus on. Bad deal. Recruit, and make your people immediately start to retail. Write that down. Get them to immediately start to retail. Say, hey, listen, we need to go to page 24 in your manual. Some of it's 27 in the manual in different countries, but it's the who do you know list. And the reason that you need to go to the who do you know list is when you talk to someone and you sit them down and you say, listen, who do you know that could benefit from these products or the opportunity? They only think about the 5 or 6 people around the area that need this stuff. They don't know that maybe their best friend could use it in Germany, or one of their best friends is in Italy. And so you got to tell them, listen, we're all over the world, and so we're going to look at these things, and at the end, at the who do you know list, I'm telling you something, there's nobody that doesn't know 100 people when you look at the who do you know list, because it's got their barber, it's got their maid, it's got their a person that does their cleaning. Drink a little wine, give them some money, it's okay, it's going to be fine. First of all, I want to, you know, I did my story a little bit last night, but some of you have not seen kind of how ugly and disgraceful it looked when we started, okay? Because, you know, some of you don't get to see this. I don't know. In fact, on the tours, we should start taking tours to the 251 South Robertson. But here was my very first office that I opened the company in. Unbelievable, huh? I know most of you have better offices than this. And actually, that picture looks a lot better than the way the office looked, okay? And it was really something. And so when you think of your humble beginnings of where you started, think of my humble beginnings also. Because who was Mark Hughes when he started the company? Nobody. Okay? He was just a guy that had a dream, that wanted to help as many people as he could lose weight and help as many people as he could, you know, to try to gain financial futures and stuff like that. And that was it. And the greatest part was, I thought the building looked pretty good. I did. And so did Jerry. They all thought it looked great. And it was only a very small, it was only a very small deal. You know, like the reception room was probably like from about here to here, you know, and that was the whole, like, order entry department and stuff like that. And then I'd always want everybody to come on the tour, you know, you'd come on back here and see my office. And my office was just like about this big. And I have white carpeting, which was really stupid because everybody would come with their feet from the dust in Los Angeles, all the smog, and they dirty up the carpets, and it looked so ugly. And then I'd say, come on back here and look at the warehouse. And it was literally, one of these 1 squares right here, fit 100 cases into the product. And that was the International Warehousing Department. It was amazing. And we were going to go around the world with this concept. And then, worse than that, after about 3 months from then, we finally got our brand new warehouse department, okay, because we couldn't fit the stuff in the little place in the back. So we opened up another center about 4 doors down from us, and there it was. Unbelievable. I mean, really. Could you imagine trying to pitch that there's herbs that that nobody believed in and that everybody thought that we were crazy, and then they show them this 23-year-old kid who is the guru of the herbs, okay, and look at the building. How many people would sign up on something like that? Most people look at it and they were gone, you know what I'm saying? It was just unbelievable. But fortunately, the products had all the magic in it. Fortunately, the products did what they said they were going to do. God bless the products. Now, I just want to show you, right after we got the company started, I know you showed the baggie full of powder and all this kind of stuff. And this was my first cans of powder in the company. And, you know, I was real natural back then. You know, I had the long hair and all this kind of stuff, you know. And so we had all the elements had to be on the can, the mountains and the sky and the little herbs that were growing on the mountain, the lakes. And anyway, the first can was like huge, okay? It was like a 3-month supply of product, okay? And when we give it to the customers, right? And by the way, I was really naive, right? I just thought, I don't know what it was. I just thought everybody was, you know, would be nice and lovely and respect us and have a good time. And, you know, it was all love and, you know, this kind of stuff. But I just thought everybody would be on our side, right? And anyway, we had a forever money-back guarantee on the product. And then around January, all these people started coming back with their empty cans to get their money back so they could buy Christmas presents for their children. And that's when we decided to make it a smaller can and put 30 days on it, and we made a lot more money after that, trust me. Look at this ugly-looking thing. That was the first manual in Herbalife, okay, all typed up, and it was very unbelievable. You can't probably read it, but it says, official career book. And back then, I couldn't Xerox on both sides, so it was one page after one page after one page. So it was like 60, 70 pages long, okay, which was really cool because it made it look important, okay? And but could you imagine if you had to open up your box and they're talking about herbs and then have to show that ugly old manual? And by the way, there was misspelled words through the whole thing, okay? My 9th grade education was right into that book, let me clue you in. And now we got the new cans. Huh? And now we got the new manuals. We got the new building. So I'm going to show you my stuff today, but it's going to be with kind of firmness and love and kindness, but firm. Because I got started with that stuff right there. No manual, the manual was totally ugly. We didn't even want anybody to see it. Say, just don't pay attention to that part of your kit, throw it out. You know, just take the products and use them, and you can read the book later after you get all excited about how much weight you lost. And they go to the building. It was ugly there. We didn't want them to come down to the building. We had all our little cards with, you know, Beverly Hills on it, so we did most of our business outside there, and we could make ourselves look better than we were back at the office and stuff like that. And so there's no excuse in Herbalife is what I'm trying to get at today. There's no excuse. We had only the product. We had a sheet that told you how to use it. We had the ugly journal. We had the ugly office. We had stains all over the floor. We had stains on the curtain from people coming in and pushing the blender, and the shake could go off on the drapes. That was it. An opportunity of a lifetime in a box with our fearless leader, Mark Hughes, with long hairs, the Beverly Hills herb dealer. Okay? And that's what we had. Now, if we can make it under those kind of circumstances, and not just me, but Jerry and John and Hal and Frank and all the people that were back there in the beginning. You know, everybody in the room can make it. There's no excuse today to not make it in Herbalife, except you. No excuses. But I'm not going to talk about anything new today. What we're going to talk about is work. That four-letter word that nobody wants to hear, work. Because that's what we had to do. Yeah, work. I never met anybody that got rich in their life without working, okay? And that's what it comes down to. And nobody's proved that any better than the people that I started out with, the ugliness that they had to start with, and then the amazing thing that's happened with the Mexicans going from 13 to number cuatro in just a couple of years. They got nothing. They got nothing. They work like crazy. They work like crazy, okay? And a lot of you work like crazy, but it's just unbelievable that they came up so far in such tragic circumstances with no money and anything else. So today what I'm trying to say is that you all got the same products. You all got the same manuals. You all got the same marketing plan. We don't do something different for the women than we do the men. And so today in Herbalife, anything that you want to do is up to you. And we're going to guide you all along the way. No matter all you people sitting in the back row, okay? You can stay in the back row forever in Herbalife, okay? Because if you're here to learn how to make $1,000 a month, and that's what you want to do, and put extra food on the table, or maybe have a summer vacation, or you want to, you know, provide better education for your children, and that's what you want to do with Herbalife, God bless you. We love you. We will love you forever. We will love you forever. You understand? We will love you forever. Because let me say this, the biggest amount of people in the company are going to do that, okay? Because there's a lot of extra things you have to do to get to the top. They're not different things that you do, okay? I'm going to tell you all the things that everybody does. It's just that they do more of them and work harder so they get more. And I've never found it any different than that. You work harder, you get more money. And that's been the trick of my life for the last 20 years. I'm going to give you some other stuff in a little while. But get team members. You want to stay where you're at and make your $3,000 or $4,000 a month and come to the meetings, you're in, okay? You're in with us. We love you forever. For absolutely ever, we love you. If you want to stay at the Get team, great. And for those of you on the Millionaire team, okay, you want to stay Millionaire team members, we love you. We love you. Don't get embarrassed by maybe your sponsor who keeps, you know, ramming you on the head. You got to get the president's team. You got to get the president's team. Don't knock your people out of the ballpark by putting so much pressure on them that they feel bad about what they're doing. Because I've seen it where some sponsors, they got a guy who's making $250,000 a year, and they're beating him and beating him and beating him. You got to get that president's team pin on your chest and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. Okay, just the fact that you walk around and say, doesn't that look pretty good? You know? You could be there someday if you want to, but if you don't, you know, no problem. Get a lot more money. Pin looks good, but great. See, everything's got to be great. You have to encourage your group with a little bit of sternness and kindness, like you do with a baby. How many people have babies? What do you do with the babies? All their little things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they get around 2. You ever notice that? They're like crazy when they're 2. You know, you got to love them, okay? And then you teach them certain things that they have to go sit in the corner for, okay? And so you love them and you discipline them like you do your children. And not telling them bad person, bad person, bad person because you're not on the president's team. That's not the way to do it. We love everybody. We want everybody to feel comfortable with where you're at. In the president's team, for those of you guys who are not on the chairman's club yet, hey, we love you guys. Okay, we love you guys. If you get 1 diamond, great. If you get 2, if you get 3, if you get 4, if you get 5, you know, what needs to happen is you need to make your own goals. Write this down. You need to make your own goals. And make them realistic. Because if you don't make them realistic, what you're going to do is you're going to put down on your piece of paper, okay, here I am, president's team member. I'm going to make it to chairman's class by the end of the year. Now, if you do that and you don't have some scheme where you're going to sponsor a gazillion people to break lots of GET team members during the year and try to break out 5 more president's team members in 1 year, that's pretty unrealistic. What's going to happen is you're going to have all these unrealistic expectations about what's going to happen to you, and it happened to you because maybe not that you didn't work enough, but you didn't have enough time. Okay? Hard work is one thing, but also time's a factor. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little while to get 5 president's team members. So you got to work hard, you got to be patient, and stick around. And if there's anything I can tell you that's the most important thing of everything that I'm going to ever tell you is stick around. Okay, stick around. Let me tell you something. When I said last night that we had 5 countries open, okay, in those first, actually 4 countries in that first 5 years, and we added in Mexico in 87, I think it was, okay, and then the next 11 years we opened up 41 countries. That is amazing. And we went from 100 million to almost 2 billion in that short period of time. It took us all that time just to get to the 100 million and 100 million to 2 billion. So that's pretty amazing. And see, the big things of what we're going to do in Herbalife haven't happened yet. I know that's difficult for you to imagine. We now have our first person, okay, last year who made $5 million. Now we got our first person, John and Susan, who made $6 million. Okay? And I know I said this before at the last one. I said pretty soon there's going to be a whole bunch of people making $5 million a year in the distributor ranks, and there's going to be a lot of people making $1 million, and we're going to have people making $10 million as distributors. And people are like, oh, man, he's taking way too many herbs. No. Because we even haven't opened up the rest of the world yet. Okay? The biggest chunk of the world's about to come onto the planet here with opening up the rest of the world with China and stuff like that. That becomes a big chunk. And that means everybody in the whole world's going to have the opportunity. Okay? And we haven't even started. You know, it's amazing when you think about this. Only America has about 100 and something products, excluding the makeup and so on, okay? When we get to the other countries, most of you guys have half the product line that we have here in the company. So just think about that. When you get all the products to your countries, plus the business that you're doing, plus having longevity to it, here's what I think is going to happen for this next year. Because let me tell you this little story. We've been stuck a couple of times in the career of Herbalife, okay? And it's always been when I've got up and I'm again, it was in the beginning, it was just a few people, and I said, listen, you guys, we've got to recruit like crazy. We've got to recruit like crazy because I'm telling you something, we're at this $800,000 a month, and I know we can get to $1 million, and we got to get there. We got to get there. It'll change the whole company. You guys have heard these pitches, right? And we missed it. We missed the 800,000. And then it's hard when you do that, and you come back to your people and you say, now listen, I know we didn't do it, and we didn't have any chances. We only went up like $2 over the 800,000. So we just got to do it again and do it again and do it again. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And that went on for 3 months. And after 3 months, your people start looking at you like, hey, you know, Mark, when's it going to come? You know what I mean? We're recruiting like crazy. We got all the figures down. All my people are bringing more people to the meetings than ever. And I said, we just got to keep doing it. I'm telling you, it's going to be $1 million. It's even going to be more than $1 million. I just got this feeling. And it was like all this pent-up demand where all of a sudden everybody, for whatever reason it was, went. Okay? And it was just amazing what took place. Then we got up at 8 million. Okay? We got at 8 million. We got stuck at 8 million, okay, for about 5 months, and it was really ridiculous. Kept telling you, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go. And we went right from 8 million to 120 million, okay? And then we got to the big stick, Okay, we were trying to hit that $1 billion. Remember that? That was terrible. We said, we got to hit this $1 billion. We got to hit it. We got to do it. And we went 700, 920, then 950. Then we went to $950,000. That's embarrassing. We only needed to have the warehouse open for like half a Christmas in some place that doesn't celebrate it, and we would have done the extra 50,000. In fact, if I had known, I would have wrote the check out myself and bought the inventory, okay? Gave it away to some charity or something like that. We were stuck there for that 4 years, man, and here we are on this last one. Okay, we went up a couple $100 million last year. So every country's up, okay? And we've never had it where every company's up. It was just amazing what happened in December of this year. Everybody's on a roll. Everybody feels good. Everybody thinks they got the right plan. Everything's going well in each country. We don't have any much bad publicity going on. We got all the stuff that we got available to us. We got all the different things that make us help the business work. There's all this pent-up demand, and I'm telling you something, what's going to happen this year. No $2 billion. Right to $3 billion. Right to $3 billion. Right to $3 billion. Yes. Unbelievable. Now I want you to write this down. At $3 billion, the people in this room, okay, not the lower ones that are going to stay out there at $500 or $600, but the people in this room, because you're getting an infinite check, okay, I'm telling you what's going to happen at $3 billion. Put down how much on a paper you're making right now. At $3 billion, you'll be making at least 2 to 5 times as much money as you're making right this minute. All right. So, biggest reasons for my success in Herbalife is, number one, the products. Yeah. You need to understand that. Okay, this is a very important thing for you to realize, because how many were working hard before they got in Herbalife? And how many are working hard now and you're making more money than you were before? Okay? Some people got 2 hands up. Okay? You need to realize that. It's not because you're a different person. It's not because everything has completely changed in your life. What's happened is you've gotten together with a great product, with an unbelievable company, with a great marketing plan that has you the freedom to work hard, in which you can get to where you go, as opposed to being trapped in a company that will not let you go up. Because if you go up, you're going to be beating the vice president of the company, and he's got to stay there, so they got to keep you down. Here it's limitless. You can go as far as you want to go. You want to make $100,000? Great. You want to make $1 billion? Great. You want to make $5 million? Great. You want to make $10 million? Let's boogie. I'm ready to sign the checks, baby. Now, the reason why I really want to get you clear on this is that there's been some distributors, okay, that have gotten up the ladder, and then they're starting to make a lot of money, and they're making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, and all of a sudden they start thinking that they're going to go out and start one of these deals on their own and make it happen. And they forget the fact that they did have work habits before, and they were miserable before, and no matter how hard they worked, they were still broke, and they were doing the best they possibly could, but all of a sudden they get over here, They get in the company, and they make a lot of money, and they make it very quickly, and all of a sudden they start thinking they're the ones that's the most incredible person in the world. Everything is happening because of them, and they forget the fact that if it wasn't for these products, the way that they worked on people, and if we didn't have this marketing plan the way it worked on you guys, and the fact that it's limitless, no matter who it is, color, skin, personality, it doesn't make any difference. You can go as far as you want to go because that's the way it is in Herbalife. And you've got to remember, there's a lot of what goes into Herbalife. It's not only just a product, it's not only just a marketing plan, but there's other people in the company that are making this thing happen too. There's thousands and thousands of employees and stuff like that are making this whole thing jive. There's a president's team down here that's in the groove with each other with all the STSs that are going on. That is powerful. We need one team of people in this entire auditorium marching out of this meeting when we go back to our own countries and our own little homes and say, hey, we got the best company in the world. We are the ones. We got the products. We got the leadership. We are the most unbelievable people. We're simply the best. I'm serious. Thank you. Okay. Now write this in your notes next to the products. Every single person who's left, who's tried to start another company, has failed. Everybody failed. Some of them in bankruptcy. Some of them had everything taken away. You know, everyone. It's a tragedy, some of the people that we've lost in the company that were good people that just were ego maniacs, and they left, and here's what happened. Write this down in your notes. They lost a fortune. And I'm not talking about a little bit. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. Together as a group, we are going to be the Microsoft of nutrition. Do you understand that? So here's the things. Number one, I've kept everything in my business simple. We'll come back to that. Everything about the product is simple. Everything about the marketing plan is simple. Everything about the meeting is simple. Okay? So that everybody can do it. I've made everything in the company that I do fun to do. It's fun. Okay? It's also easy. Okay? Everything that I do with the products is easy. Everything I do with the marketing plan is easy. Everything that I do with building my organization downline is easy. Okay? And the reason I do, and everything I do, it seems like magic almost when you're hearing it. Okay? And the reason I do this is because the last one is duplication. You cannot have a business that's just solely on your own abilities. You have to get them in. You got to train them, have them be like you as much as possible, so you can duplicate, so you can recruit more people, so you get the 2, 4, 6, and then on to the president's team. Okay? And then the last one, something that's hard to do, okay, but I've always had it since the beginning of the company. I always thought more about my people than I did myself. And that was a big advantage for me in the beginning because people felt it and they knew it. And that started right from the very beginning, you know, with the first production bonus. Hey, I was the biggest distributor in the company. But I decided I wasn't going to get it. Jerry was going to get it. You see? And that's the way it's been. You know, I could have took that 21 grand, put it in my pocket, because I had a bigger check than she did. But there's nothing that I'm doing and my team with me and my group around me where we're not thinking about, and I mean the guys and girls down here, my staff, my top little group here that helps make decisions in the company. All we think about all day long is how to make it better for you. That's what we're doing. And that's unbelievable. All the people are incredible. My group I work with are absolutely unbelievable. Now, let me just take you just real quick on this simple thing, okay? I'm just going to do this real quick. Retailing the product is extremely important, okay, for a lot of reasons I'll explain later. But when you go out there, you've got to make your presentation simple. Let's just take a nutritionist for a second. Someone who's really into the products and they love every single ingredient and they're very, very thorough about the whole explanation. And they go to Mary, who's has to lose 50 pounds, and they go, listen, Mary, I'm a top nutritionist of the world, and I want you to know about all the natural ingredients in here, and the methionine, and the lysine, and the different way the vitamin A mixes with the vitamin B. And he goes through this hour presentation of explaining all the different things of the product, and it takes him about an hour. She's very excited about the products. He asks for the $100. He gets the $100. He puts it in his pocket. It's taken 1 hour, okay? But now he does this 10 times a day. He's making lots of money. He's making $10,000 a day. $1,000 a day by doing this, $100, okay? But it's taking him an hour to make $100, okay? And he's only making $1,000 a day because of this complicated presentation. What's worse is this, though. Mary loses 50 pounds. She says, hey, doc, she says, everybody in the place is watching my weight loss. They're all seeing what's happening with me. I want to sign up. And he goes, no problem. Okay, I'll be right over. And then she says, well, I need to know what to say. And he goes through the same pitch as he did the first time and goes through this hour presentation, which she doesn't even allow to happen. About 15 minutes into this deal, she says to herself, listen, doc, no wonder you make $1,000 a day. You're very, very educated. And quite frankly, I can't learn that information. I don't want to go to that many training classes. I don't want to spend that much time at it. This is just not for me. Okay? And so here's my pitch. Okay? And we started this from the very beginning. Okay? And here all it is. Okay? When someone hits me on the button, or someone sees a magazine, or they notice my face, or they say something to me, I say, and you got to get this down in the first part. It's really important. The first part's the only important really part. You got to be positive right from the start. Okay, so when they say how, you say, you're not even going to believe it. Let's all try this. Okay? Someone says how. You're not even going to believe this. You see, that gets them in a good mood. You know what I mean? They've been on, remember, so the person that you're talking to has probably been on 15 things before. You know what I'm saying? They've been promised the mood. So your happiness, your cheerfulness, what's in your eyes, how you look at them, what's in your heart, how strong you feel about the products is very important to that person because they failed so many times, and many people get to failing so many times they just say, I can't do it one more time. So they're counting a lot on you. I'm not doing the presentation. You guys are doing the presentation. So listen, you're not even going to believe it. Man, it's just so easy to lose weight with this stuff. It's Herbalife. All you got to do is drink these 2 shakes a day, take these tablets 3 times a day, and you can eat what you want. All you got to do is cut back, and you will have so much energy. It's unbelievable. You're going to lose weight like crazy. You get all the nutrition that you need, and comes in chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And I show them testimonial, 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 and I say, and now it's time for you to give me the check. And so first of all, here's what I got on the nutritionist. Number 1, who could do that? Anybody. Remember something. Your biggest weapon in the company is duplication. More people. You got to have more people if you want to make big bucks. 1 person, 1 times money. 100 people, 100 times the money. 1,000 people, 1,000 times the money. You see, so you got to have it massive. And you're not going to have it massive unless it's fun, easy, simple, and magical. Okay? And that's what we're going to talk about with everything that we do. Some of you are working too hard. Some of you are working too hard. After the presentation, you're doing another presentation. Get down to it. 2 shakes a day, tablets 3 times a day, show them the testimonials, give me the money. Let's go, baby. That's it. Now, by the way, in my book, okay, you guys should have one of these. Okay, in my book, what I've got in here is everything. It's called My Business in a Briefcase. It's got my notes. It's got all my fat pictures in here. I got about 20 of them in there. They start from 18 pounds to 400 pounds with Jim. And then I've got my supervisor notes in there. I've got order pads, an application to get started up, and everything's in here, okay? And that's My Business in a Briefcase. You should all have that, because here's what you need. You need to be able to do business anytime, anywhere, any place. Sometimes you're at the grocery store or something like that. If someone's willing to walk across the street and have a coffee with you or something like that, you got a chance right then to get them on a little bit of the shake, give them a shake, and give them a couple of energy tablets. If they're in a bad mood, make them drink a glass of tea. If they're in a real bad mood, 2 teas, and cheer them up and get them on, get them signed up, and let's go. Let's find out who else is interested. Seize the moment. Seize the moment. And if they'll give you the time, go. Okay? If they won't give you the time, say, here's my card. A meeting's happening on Tuesday night. But so many times, people are ready. They go, God, you know how you make this money? And they're ready right then. And then you say, well, listen, come down to the meeting and let me take advantage of it right then. Hey, if you had signed him up, you could have gone home with him, called his 10 friends, and had him and 10 friends to the meeting. You see, so seize the moment wherever it is. And you could do that by having a pitch book in your hand here. And by the way, these are great pictures. If you haven't seen these, you can buy them in the Mark Hughes pitch book. They're absolutely wonderful. Everybody's fat, and they look beautiful afterwards. Ugly and beautiful. Okay? Then we got skincare pictures in here. They look terrible and ugly. Now they look beautiful after they got on their blood. Okay? Now, here's a couple of things real quick on retailing why I feel real strong about it. Okay? First is, because a lot of people want to recruit, and that's what they want to do, and that's all they focus on. Bad deal. Recruit, and make your people immediately start to retail. Write that down. Get them to immediately start to retail. Say, hey, listen, we need to go to page 24 in your manual. Some of it's 27 in the manual in different countries, but it's the who do you know list. And the reason that you need to go to the who do you know list is when you talk to someone and you sit them down and you say, listen, who do you know that could benefit from these products or the opportunity? They only think about the 5 or 6 people around the area that need this stuff. They don't know that maybe their best friend could use it in Germany, or one of their best friends is in Italy. And so you got to tell them, listen, we're all over the world, and so we're going to look at these things, and at the end, at the who do you know list, I'm telling you something, there's nobody that doesn't know 100 people when you look at the who do you know list, because it's got their barber, it's got their maid, it's got their a person that does their cleaning, it does the thing with the person who cleans their house, everybody, the bartender down at the bar, it's got everybody, their doctor, their dentist, their lawyer, everybody, okay? And nobody thinks about all those people. In fact, you ought to all go back to the who do you know list and go back over and make sure you got everybody, okay? Because it could be that one last person that you're thinking, he's never going to do it, he's never going to do it. Nobody thought Alan was ever going to do it, and look at what's happened with Alan today. You know, so you can't get into that. So making money, the reason why I like them doing the retail right away, number one, okay, is they make money immediately. Put that down. They make money immediately. And it's not this big money, okay? It's not this big money that everybody gets excited about. You guys in the back of the row and stuff like that, you're in a perfect position with the kind of income that you're making, because you'll be a little bit more realistic with people, and you're a little bit more humble at this particular point. And I want to say this to the other group. The more money you make, okay, the more important it is to show people who you were and what you were about and what happened to you in Herbalife because of Herbalife, okay? Because that is pouring your heart out to this poor individual who's sitting there and you're making $1 million and stuff like that. It's beyond their comprehension, okay, and stuff like that. So you got to dig down deep, okay, to dig down deep. And you got to have pictures of you looking bad and pictures of you in your old home and show them the reality of what happened and stuff like that. Because it's very, very important to be humble, okay, and to get down to where they're at their level so that you can cheer them up and get them going, okay? But I'm telling you this, it's amazing how you can take people who are making no money, they're scared about what they're doing, and they go out and you help them make their first sale. I'll never forget this with Jerry Svetanovich. We called up her mom, and I did the presentation for her, and she grabbed the phone, and I said, Miss Svetanovich, would you please be Jerry's first customer? And she said, sure. And I handed Jerry the phone, and she goes, you will, you will. And she was so excited about it. And you know how much she made? The product was $29.95. 25% of that was what? Like $7.50. And all of a sudden, she was queen of the world. I know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? $7. So don't be thinking that when you're bringing people into the business that they got to make these big incomes. Because let me tell you something. Most of the people that you talk to, if you can get them making $300 a month, that would be great. Then they start thinking $500. Then they start thinking $1,000. They come down to an STS. They start thinking about $3,000 because they meet more people. When they get to 3, they start thinking 10. When they're at 10, they start thinking 50. When they're at 50, they start thinking $250,000. That's how it works. You can't just bounce right from the bottom out of the gutter and you're a multimillionaire. Okay? It happens in stages. Okay? And we'll talk about it as we go along. The biggest reason I like people, two biggest reasons why I like people retailing is this. If there's no reason why your check ever should go down. No reason for that. Your royalty check should go up and up and up and never come down. The only reason for it going down is for 2 reasons. A, you're not recruiting enough people in as you were before. Or B, your people are not selling the product. In other words, they went out and got 10 customers one month, and now they're only got 5 customers, because we all know what happens with our customers. About a third of them leave, okay? Not because of us, because of them. They didn't have the hope, and they wouldn't try it again. We have some people that lose all their weight, and they use it 4 months later, lose all their weight, gain some weight back, use it again, and so on. And then you got a third of them that use it every single month for the rest of their life, right? So now you got to replace those people who were the duds, okay, so that you can get more retailing going on. And guess what? If you don't have a business based on a solid foundation of selling all the products, you got the wrong concept going on. Because you can recruit the entire world, and if nobody's selling anything, your check's going to go up like this, and it's going to go down like that the minute the recruiting stops. You can't, yes. I hope you clap for that. It's a big secret. This idea of getting people in and loading them up with a bunch of product and just to get them to qualify for something or this or that or the other thing, bad deal. Now, if they got a place to sell, I'm not trying to say, hey, you know, don't bring them in at $4,000. $4,000 is fine. But let's make sure that they got a place to sell that $4,000 so they put $2,000 in their pocket and they're excited. We don't need his time, 75% of his time, thinking about how much he spent. He needs to be thinking about 100% of the time on how much he's going to make. So if you help them get the product and sell the product and put money in their pocket, happy distributors. Happy distributors. But again, this is where it comes into that place where you got to care more about them than you, because that takes some of your time. When you sell them the product, no problem. You collect your $50, you put it in your pocket. But now if the person signs up, okay, and they want to go out somewhere, now, and they want to do that first party, that first party is extremely important. They are scared to death. Now, could they do it without you? Yes. Would it be better if you were there for a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of backup support to help them with any kind of slippage that might go on? Absolutely. Okay? And it was very important. I know with Jerry, when I first got her started, you know, I said, Jerry, I'm going to help you become one of the top people in the company. She said, I can't believe you're the president and you're going to help me out. And I'll tell you something, most people, they just can't believe when you're making that much money that you would give the time out of your time to help them out. They get all that stuff, man, the thing's off my shoulder, and as soon as they start making the checks, they start getting excited. The minute they get excited, the more they talk. The more they talk, the more excited they get. Okay? And pretty soon, they know how to do it, and they're out there doing it on their own, and everything's going crazy. But the biggest reason I like people retailing is this, and this is the big one. This is the big secret. And this is what I call getting people herbalized. Okay? Herbalized. That's when you have somebody, we always made a big issue out of everybody using the products, okay, right from the start. You got to use the products. And the reason you got to use the products is that's what's in your eyes, that's what comes out your throat, that's what's in your heart. And it's not what you say about the products that's important, it's how you feel about the products that are so important. And people pick that up. And if you don't think they can't, they will. And if they don't pick it up the first time, they're certainly going to pick it up the next time when you're back there in your house and you're the same 30 pounds overweight and you're telling them they're going to lose weight, they're going to lose weight, and the next month you come back and you're still 30 pounds overweight and you're trying to tell them, you know, you're going to go, you're going to go. That doesn't work. You got to make progress on yourself every single month. Get that down. You got to be better. If you want things to be better, you got to be better. You got to look better. You got to get your weight down. You got to look like the pitch, baby. I'm telling you something. You got, you know, when they say, what are you using? You say, Herbalife, baby. Everything. Hair, skin, everything, baby. That's me. I'm not going without that Herbalife stuff. Now, the biggest reason for having this deal happen is that when you get somebody else on the product that does better than you, then that really gets you. Okay? I know your own stories is great, but I'm telling you something, when you get your first 100-pound weight loss, okay, and they say, thank you so much for pushing me to get onto that product. I love you. You're one of my best friends. You are. Okay? Unbelievable. And remember this, you might be one of the only people that believes in this person at all. You know? You really need to understand this, man. So many people, you know, this is an amazing figure. I just heard this here a couple of months ago, that we used to have 30% of the population obese here in America. You know what's happened? It's now 60% of the American population is medically obese. During Herbalife's biggest rise in its sales, obesity has gotten bigger. Isn't that amazing? With as much goodness as we got, with how great we are, because it's gotten so much down in the children population now. We got children with heart problems at 8, 9, 10 years of age, okay, because of all the junk food. We have just got started on this battle here of making people lose weight and get to the proper weight so we can make the world a better place to live in and change the whole world's health. We have just gotten started on that.